Welcome to the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood show. I am your co-host, Scoob. I'm going to swing it over to my dude, Old Head Wallum. Let him know where you at.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am S. Hamilton, a.k.a. Old Head Wallin, a.k.a. the father that comes in the house and the kids just scatter because they know I don't give a fuck.
Damn. And go ahead, do your thing.
Pass it off to my man, Stevie.
I'm Steve.
Damn, I'm Steve. Yo, let's start off the show just by shouting out Steve because my ass had to work on a recording day, so we're doing this on abnormal Sunday when everyone should be chilling. And my man Steve said, "Nah, F it. Let's just keep the show going and come in." So
we could have been watching Black Panther.
Could have been watching Black Panther. As you can see, he's here chilling with us.
That's right.
So boom.
Shouts out to Black Panther.
Shouts to BP, man. Shouts to BP. So if you
not
are
to be
new,
confused with the oil company.
No, not to
And
compete.
that rhyme, you see.
Hey, I see you. Now, if you are new to the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood, we are a group of fathers. One, obviously, duh. Two, we love hip hop. Three, we wanted to come and talk to you other fathers and bring us all together so we could talk about these children, these chitlins. And the reason why we're doing it is because we feel like we're not in the forefront enough. We feel like we don't talk to each other enough, and we need to start building a community to hold each other down.
On God's speed.
On God's speed. I'm going to tell you something.
Yo, so what's today's episode about, man? Talk. Let's get right to it, man.
Let's chop it up.
Today we talking about proud dads and what changed when you became a father.
Yeah, let's chop it up.
Scoob, tell the audience what changed when you became a father, man. Come on, run it to me right, man.
If what changed when I became a father, I have to run it back to, my old ways and what I was doing before that. I don't want to say I was wilding too much, but, man, I had a nice little smooth black car. The color of the Black Panther suit.
Talk to him.
You was like Michael Knight and Kit.
Michael Knight, yeah. I had this little...
back for a second.
Exactly.
Hasselhoff, baby.
Yeah, I had this little Infiniti G35 all black, moving. I was driving at speeds I wasn't supposed to.
Oh, man,
I was doing things in the car that I wasn't supposed to. Maybe
Christ.
I was I was just a little wild. But obviously that immediately changed once I became a father. Once I found out, I was going to be a father. One thing that I keep on telling my friends who aren't fathers, the one thing that I miss the most is that, let's just say I'm just chilling in my room, chilling in my bed, doing anything, doing things that I like to do. I could be playing video games, I could be cooking, I don't know.
Talk to him.
And then I get a phone call, yo, it's happening over here. It could be a game of ball, it could be a party, it could be anything. I just get up and leave. That's what I feel.
In other words, you miss your freedom.
I miss my freedom.
Yes, the freedom is definitely missed. I'm gonna tell you some of the things that changed when I became a father. Jesus Christ.
He's about to go dig into the memory bank.
You see the grays in my beard? I got more grays in my beard. That's what happened when I became a father. My budget started dwindling.
Damn, talk to him, man.
So my budget started dwindling.
You miss your money.
Yeah, my money started missing. Just trying to, I can't really. All right, let's take it back. Let's go back. Because my situation was unique. My child was from out of state, so I still had some of that freedom that Scoob was talking about he was missing once he became a father, because that was my first child. So I could still get up and go do what I want and stuff like that. Now, not to get too much into that story, because we say that for another time, but what really changed when I got married is that, yes, when you go to the store, you're not just buying one, chopped cheese sandwich and a Snapple apple. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you want to cut it up.
Yeah, unless you're going to cut it up. Now you got to buy, you got to say, I'm going to the store. Do anybody want anything from the store? Knowing in the back of your mind, you like, I just want to go to the store, get a chopped cheese, and come right back. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta hold back on the stinginess. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me tell you something. There's a little bit of hope because as your girls get older, you can send them to the store.
Well, this is true. No, this is true. Like, every once in a while, I do send, daughters to the store, whatever. Hey, go get your little sister something to eat, whatever like that. Usually I like going to the store because I don't like my order fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one of those people. I like my shit right.
My wife is like that. She bugs out. Like, if they missed the chicken nuggets in the bag, she's just like, oh, well, I'm not going to eat anything. Like,
I'm not that extreme.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that extreme, but I just like to, to go get my own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I have to. But yeah, things like the selfishness changes when you become a father. Well, at least for some. Because, there's some dads out there that just don't give a fuck. They just
fatherly challenge.
Yes.
And if you're out there, we want to talk to you.
Yes. Fathers out there that be doing things wrong, we need you up here.
Because we just want to talk to you.
We just want to talk to you.
We're not gonna come at you. We're not gonna directly throw shots at you. We just want to talk.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like the okie doke. Like you trying to set them up.
No, listen. I empathize. I'm gonna be honest. I empathize with the brothers that be like, man, fuck this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it really be about. It don't really be about the kid because in the guy's head, he want to be there for his child. But the problem is that when you dealing with that skeezer, man, you just like,
skeezer is stupid.
I don't even want to be bothered. And I've been there. But anyway, that's another topic. But like I said, you become, what's the word? Unselfish? Am I right, Steve?
Yeah,
Selfless. You become selfless. Like, you really got to put away the selfish man. You got to lock him up. My partying definitely slowed down. Definitely. I don't go nowhere. I'm in the crib. I go to work. I come home. I do whatever entertainment I do in the house. Well, I'm on Instagram bugging out with my little daughter. That's about it.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster, man.
Yeah. But this is my therapy. This is why I come here to the show. This is my therapy right here. This is why I get out.
Everybody needs me time.
This is my me time with the fellas right here, and we talking about what's going on, as being a dad. So Steve, bless us.
Well, what? See, this is a little bit.
Your man Steve, stay coming with some thought-provoking stuff, yo. Come correct. Let's get it.
See, now.
Run it to him right, Steve. We know you.
Now I feel the pressure.
We know you, Steve. Come on.
So I would say the thing that changed is it's a lot like what you say. It is you start to understand your place in the world, right, and how big it is. And for me. And I had a son, and I named him after myself. So for me, what changed is I kind of looked at life in a different way, and it set goals in perspective because it was like your children are your immortality, right?
Yeah.
You now have a new goal in life. When my son was born, I was like, okay, well, I got to be a success. You know what I mean? I can't like sit back and play video games all day. You know what I mean? I gotta go back to school. I gotta do all those things because at the end of the day, and I'm gonna quote Black Panther for a second.
Ooh, I know which quote. I know which quote you're laying with.
If a man does not prepare his children for his own death, he has failed as a father.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those things where it's a truth that you know, but you hadn't put it into words yet. And I feel like they did that in the Black Panther movie. So that's what I would say. Having a child and becoming a father, it turned me into a grown ass man, right? Almost overnight.
It challenged you.
It
challenged you to step up to the plate, step up to the home plate. And
you
swing.
Definitely have to step up when you become a father, man. I mean, even though like sometimes, like I said, it be those moments when you just like yesterday, perfect example. Now, you have young boys. You know how this is. Daddy. Every, 30 seconds. So, my daughter, she's with her tablet and stuff, and everything she sees on the tablet, she wants. So, she says, now I'm in the mix of doing that little promo thing I was doing. So, she goes, Daddy. I go, what? What do you want? She's going to say, I just wanted to ask you a question.
Damn, piercing you through the heart.
Yo,
you jerk. I just wanted to say what up. You know? Like,
I was on my jerky. I ain't gonna lie. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, young Kenny. Kenny on the beach. I ain't mean no harm, but it made me laugh though, because she responded in like such a, almost like an adult way. Mm-hmm. She was like, "I'm not bothering you. I just want to ask you a question." That's what she said. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of taken back, like, oh wow.
But let me. I don't know if you peep game. That was an assault, right? Like, she attacked you right there with that statement. That was a surgical attack straight into the emotions, right? So now, because let me tell you something, children and parents and all of that, they can use guilt as a weapon. What you're trying to understand, what you need to understand is that they become surgical with that shit.
Yeah, it's
true. Like how Denzel Washington was surgical with the shotgun in Training Day.
Right.
They are surgical with the guilt. She knew what she was doing when she said, "I'm just trying to ask you a question."
It was crazy how she
that was purposeful.
Yeah, I was standing there, and I had like this light smile on my face, like, okay, I gave her a dap. I said, "You got that."
Yeah, and she knew she had that.
What do you want?
Right. I was just like, I knew what she wanted. She wanted me to change whatever show that was on Netflix. You know? That's what she wanted.
Yeah.
But
so she didn't want to talk to you, is what she was saying.
She asked you a question. She was just asking a question. Yeah.
You lost that round. But go ahead.
Yeah. I know I did lose that round, and I told my wife about it, and she looked at it. She said, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah, she was right.
She taught her that. Yeah. Your wife taught her how to do that. That's what I suspect.
No, she just has my wife quick comebacks. I noticed that. I'm like, oh, okay, you picking that up real nicely.
Yeah,
like, okay.
picking it up.
Get that from me.
Yeah, definitely not, because I'm retarded.
To piggyback,
I mean, that's not the proper word to say.
Damn, yeah, I mean, this show is politically correct.
Yeah, I'm
right?
not. You know
He's okay with skeezer.
But we're gonna run it back on the R word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean no disrespect. But
yo, to piggyback off of what you said, Steve, 100%. If you're a father out there, new father, old father, you can agree that immediately what changes. There's a lot of things. Your freedom changes. You become selfless, and then you start to look at the man in the mirror. Yeah. And you gotta look at yourself and say, what am I gonna be teaching my child, whether it is a boy or a girl. If it's a boy, you have to teach that child to become a responsible man. Right. If it's a girl, obviously, you have to teach them to be a responsible woman, an independent woman. So those are a lot of things that we go all touch on that that changed for us.
Keep your daughter off the pole.
Yes. Keep your daughter off the pole. Keep your daughter off the pole. Yo, I don't have the statistics in front of me, and I'm gonna find it, and we're gonna talk about it in the show. But there's a lot of issues, daddy issues, whether if it comes from a male side, a kid is lost and they get lost in doing different things and fighting and whatever have you, and then when it comes to females, they're a little bit promiscuous. So I don't want to talk about that just yet, but yes, being a father in these child's lives is very, very important, and that's what changes. It's got to start becoming selfless. All right.
Okay. Are you going to talk about that later today?
Nah. Because I don't got the facts in front of me. I want to sound smart and just hit people. Well, with 30% children.
I just want to add one thing to that, which is, as the father of a 16-year-old who plays basketball and has a job and is tall and is as dashing as his father.
There you go.
I am concerned with my son being promiscuous. I don't want him out there like that, because a lot of people.
Oh yeah, of course.
A lot of that is we give the boys dap because they got a bunch of girls.
Well, come on,
I'm not thinking about that, because you know what? Hold on though.
Nah, he's right, Shawn. He's right.
My son was born when I was 19 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm too young to be a grandfather. So every time I hear him, he's talking to a new chick. I'm like, yo, why don't you just relax with one of them, bro? Just get to know her first.
But when
focus on your schoolwork.
But when it comes to getting to know her, and then you don't want him to fall in love at a younger age, because then he'll be all Google-eyed and start throwing things to the side and let me focus on my girl.
Steve, you want him to get away from the girls, V?
Let's hear this.
Look, man.
He play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whatever.
He play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whatever he chooses, what he chooses. But the thing I'm trying to say is, I don't want the boys or the girls or the boys to be out there goosey. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, come on, man. Think about it. You had your son when how old?
19 years old.
19.
He was 19.
He was born when I was 19. So
born when he was 19. My dad had me when he was 22.
Right.
It's unless you have to occupy. From what I'm seeing, you really gotta occupy. You gotta occupy your child with things to get him away from certain influences. Because, like I said, I got daughters too.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, my 16-year-old daughter. Yes, she's She's getting into that mode. And then my wife just kind of told me today that her 13-year-old, is now starting to ask those questions because she kind of asked, how did me and her come together? So I was like, oh, man.
But that's the age. But you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. You can't dance away from it.
I know. You're going to have to talk. See, for me right now, all I got to do is, my other daughter is 10, and then biological daughters. They're 10, and then I got Kenny is 3. 4. I'm sorry, 4. And I don't have to worry about that too much, but I already know I'm going to have to, like, yo, listen, all the dudes just want to do is pipe you down, baby. You got to be on your game. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on your game. You can't be out here lackluster. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like carry yourself almost like a dude, and in its weird way, and you gotta put that energy out there, so they know not to mess with you, or not to play you for cheap when they approach you. Just how I deal with you is the same kind of energy you want from the guy you deal with when you get older and you're ready for that. How I take care of you, make sure you all right. Just don't get caught up. You're going to go through you're going to have one of them dudes who pimp hand is strong,
He may talk a little slick.
And he may talk slick, but you got to be on point to recognize that.
Right. And honestly, and this is coming from a person who does not have daughters.
Right.
But I think that dating actually is healthy for a young kid, because you don't want them to wait till like after they graduate college, then the first dude they meet could be like a clown, and then it's like, I've been holding off so long, so they just throw everything into that. So dating is okay, but I think when you teach them the principles and the guidelines and self-respect, I think it's less likely that one of these so-and-sos are going to come around and ruin their life.
It starts out young, I agree. So it starts out at a younger age. So with Kenny and Nico, you can actually look at them, and I do it with my own children. You start to teach them, some self-discipline, some self-love, so they don't have to go searching for that. So when it does come here, and obviously, we're humans, we're built to mate.
Right,
we're built to fuck. You know what I'm saying? When those times do come, way later in their life, they have that self-respect and that self-love to actually give something out, and know it's supposed to come back in return.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell my daughters, look, man, let's just listen here, man. You let somebody just put the tip in, B. This is what's gonna happen to you. This is what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna miss out on everything. When you're in your 20s. You ain't gonna really start having fun until you get into your late 30s, 40s. By then, you're gonna be fat and washed up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, lay it to them right. You're gonna be fat. You're gonna be washed up. Your diet's gonna be McDonald's. Do you want to eat McDonald's?
You're gonna be tired. It's just enjoy your young youth.
Now, when you say that, and these conversations that we're having with our children. Do you feel it's best that the father tells them these or lays it down as far as what to expect, between anything growing up? Or do you think it's better for the mother to lay it right? Or obviously it's supposed to be communal, but which one stands out more?
Well, it all depends on who got the memo first, because a lot of the times the daughters, they're gonna go to the mother first because it's just that's natural.
I don't.
Hold on. No, hold on. No, hold on. You talking to a man who got daughters?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We're gonna take your word for it. Absolutely.
A man who
100%.
got daughters. Them two girls that's in my house, they're not coming to me talking about some. So Shawn, what's it like? What's what like? You know what I'm saying?
But those two girls have a relationship with their mom. They don't necessarily have. They have a relationship.
They have a relationship.
They're building
with me,
a relationship.
They're building, but they don't have that relationship where they could say, "Hey, when was the first time you got laid?" You know what I'm saying? So they ain't gonna come to me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I expect that. Now, when Kenny gets older, she's probably gonna come to me and say she's gonna come in the house, slamming her books down, pouting. I'm like, what's the face for? Guys make me sick. You know what I'm saying? I'm over them. You over them. All right, then I gotta go into the lesson.
I thought you were gonna say go into the trunk and get the hammer.
Nah, man. Listen, I'm like this. Because a lot of people who have this misconception that the whole father with the shotgun thing. Nah, man, that shit ain't going down, man. You come through with the shotgun, you going to jail, man. It's like, nah. My thing is this. I'm just gonna, give them game from the start, and how to conduct yourself and carry yourself from a man perspective. When dealing with the opposite sex, don't let them play you cheap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let no guy snap on you. You got to be witty with the jokes. Don't let them come at you talking about something. I'm saying, Ma. I'm saying, what's good, though? Can I put the tip in? You be like, what tip? You about to put that cash in my pocket? Right. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really be hard, and still, keep your... keep it classy, keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Because at the same time, dudes got feelings too. You don't want to get all up there and start getting crazy, and then it escalates. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a male. But still keep your groove tight.
I love how we we just changed this conversation.
I know.
Just shifted. I know. And we might as well just be in this energy. Yeah. It is what it is.
I mean, just school. I'm just gonna school my daughters, and like I said, my older ones, they come to me. They wanna know what it's like for how to deal with a boy, whatever. I'm gonna run it to them right. I'm just gonna tell them like, listen, keep them condoms with you, man, at all times. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't. It's a feeling. You're gonna like boys. They gonna like you, especially. It's not like you ugly or anything like that, but at the same time, you gotta respect yourself, and you can't let no dude disrespect you.
No dude. You want nobody should disrespect them, but also, we gotta you gotta look at the world as it is and not as the way you would like it to be. So I've come to that place where I know that there's a possibility that Junior's out there. Whipping his thing.
But you haven't had that conversation with him yet?
No, I absolutely have, but it's always very awkward. And he's like, no, nothing. And I always got to catch myself when he's trying to talk to me about it. Like, if he's asking me for advice about a girl or whatever, I just think that that's the real goal there, to let as you get older, your Jedi mind powers increase, and you got to teach the young Padawans how to use the Force.
Right.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
But really, how your game gets stronger as you get older, and you can see certain things. Like right now, if me personally, just being a single man, if I'm dating a person, I know all the telltale signs to everything that I've experienced before. So when he's explaining the situation to me, like, oh, I know what that's about.
Yeah.
She wants more. Oh, she's punching you in the arm. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, she's mad that you saying hi to somebody else. You better watch out because she might want to start looking through your phone later.
Yeah.
So, and I think the same goes. If you have a daughter, or if I ever have a daughter one day, I'm gonna tell her what the moves that I would use on girls, so that when the okie doke comes around her, she's ready for it because she heard me say it already.
Now,
man, y'all got sons, man.
Yeah,
just
but that's the thing. Yeah. You had to, and that's why I said I didn't want to touch on this without the facts. But now that we're having a conversation about it, great. I'm gonna go from a personal perspective because the only way I could kind of agree with this or kind of give you my point of view is how I grew up. So, I have a stepfather and I have a father. Both of them had different ways of talking about that type of thing. Now, with my father, I had to kind of inch towards that conversation, just like how Junior does Steve.
Right.
But my stepdad, he was so abrasive, and the Jedi mind tricks were crazy. And I could just be doing anything, and he'll bring up a story that will apply to the relationship that I was in high school. I just be like, yo, what the yo, I don't got a journal, but have you been reading some fake journal or something? Yeah. What's going on? Do you have a recording of my mind? And he'll just break down these situations, and it will be having me thinking damn, yo, is this girl doing this? Is she trying to play me? Or do I look like a sucker at this point of view? So that tying everything together, I think, me personally, that a father figure's place in these situations with our young children are very, very, very important.
You know what's crazy? Yo, me and my dad never kicked it about the birds and the bees.
See, this is why we had this conversation. This needs to happen.
On some real shit, we never had that conversation because him and my mother, they divorced when I was 9.
Right.
So, and then he, in the mix of that, he, like I said before, he became Muslim.
Right.
So, we never really had those conversations about.
Where did you learn it? Where did you learn about birds and bees?
Streets, B. You know what I'm saying? What you think? My uncle, of course, my uncle, between him, my friends in the street, and sometimes I'd be like, yo, I wish I was a virgin, B. Because, I'd just be I got into a lot of shit, man, behind the puss, B. You know what I'm saying? Just not, knowing how to deal. Just going off because everybody else, all your friends, peer pressure and all of that. You just out there wilding.
Yo, peer pressure is crazy amongst boys. I'm going to tell you something, man. When I was obviously as a teenager, you're thinking about sex and, and in my case, I got my stepfather telling me about sex. I got my dad, talking to me about sex. And yeah, it was in my head, but I wasn't really stressing it like that. Yo, once one of my friends, in my group got pee, all of a sudden it was like, yo, did you get pee yet? Yo, did you get pee yet? I didn't get pee. Okay, did you get pee? And it's just I was forced, to search for pee, even though I was just if it falls on my lap, all right, cool.
When you first went down that line, I thought my mind went someplace completely different.
Oh, Jesus.
And so you said, when you were talking about kids talking about sex, I know kids talk about crazy shit, and you was like, did you get pee? I thought you was into some Donald Trump piss tape kind of thing.
Did you get peed on? Did you get peed on? No, we were talking about
that's crazy.
We were talking about the V, the P.
That's a pause. That's a pause right there. That's crazy. That's a crazy thought there. That's a crazy thought.
I watch a lot of news, man.
You watch a lot of news.
Now, the only thing that I could say that's funny that it became a moment where me and my dad was talking about sex is when I got burnt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they caught you out here sleeping. You were burning, no concerning what nobody had to say.
Yes, I was on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And how he found out was because I had to use the medical insurance to go up to the doctor to go get the checkup, right? So he was like, he said, "What you going to the doctor for?" So I had to tell him what happened. He said, "Man, you don't know how to use condoms." You know what I'm saying? I think that was the first and last conversation we ever had about sex.
So you would think these situations would happen like Cuba Gooding with Lawrence Fishburne and Boys in the Hood.
Right.
And Lawrence Fishburne was a pivotal figure in that movie because Boys in the Hood growing up, and he was the only one. Well, there was Did the other ones have fathers? No, Cuba Gooding was the only.
It was only.
It was only what's
Ricky.
Their dad was out, and their dad was out, and he wanted to be like his dad because he wanted to play football. Yeah, and the other one was gone. The streets was raising him,
right?
And then you have Cuba Gooding. He had a nice home. His parents were split up, but he was with his dad, and his dad, made sure that he was with him so he could, change him into a man.
You did what Cuba Gooding Jr. Father did. Lawrence Fishburne, smell him.
Oh.
Yeah. When you walk into a room.
Yeah, you smell him.
I mean, as long as he don't smell like smoke or weed, I'm alright.
Hey, do your thing, but approach your situations. Be like Lawrence Fishburne in Boys in the Hood. He was a pivotal character in that movie.
Now, also, in that movie, Lawrence Fishburne looked younger than Cuba Gooding Jr., but that's neither here nor
there. Stay in shape too.
Now, see, we done ventured off into a whole nother,
I don't think we can even bring it back. I think we just have to. I think. Oh well, just
because I got annoying. What's the annoying habits from our children? Gotta talk about that.
So annoying habits that your children have.
I wrote a book about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, annoying habits that your children have. Lay it down, Shawn. Do your thing.
Annoying habits. Well, I guess I can't say for Kenny because she's a toddler, so she's doing what a toddler, does, and that's just
annoying.
I mean, no. I know what it is that. No, hold on. What did we say again? Let's bring that question back.
So
again.
Boom, right here. I'm gonna tie all this in.
Yeah.
Now we are proud fathers. Yes, of course. That's the name of that's the title of the show.
Title of the show.
And pretty much what we wanted to say is, how effective are we in our children's lives? So there's certain things that make fatherhood tough, that makes some of these dudes run out, some of these guys stress out. Obviously, we just went through the situation of, turning boys into men and girls into women. Yeah. But it's still a stressful job because now you also have to deal with their emotions. You have to deal with their personalities. Some good, some bad. Some they'll get from you, and some they'll get from their mother. So pretty much, what are some annoying things that they do now that bother you, and how do you deal with it as a dad? How do you deal with your child? You gotta accept them for who they are, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, the better half of you is gonna reflect on on your child. So how do you look at that?
Let me see. No.
It seems like he's treading lightly here.
Yeah, because
in his head he's like, she's gonna watch this.
Yeah, because no, annoying thing that it's like, all right, I take my wife, second daughter, like both the daughters are like night and day. One is like real cool and laid back and Netflix and chill. She
not just Netflix.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Netflix and relax.
No, Netflix and relax.
Netflix and go to sleep.
Right. That's her. Netflix and relax. The other one is like a hurricane when she comes in the house, and it's like a party when she comes through the door. From singing off key, that burns my soul. When she sings off key, like she be in the bathroom, loud music playing, and it's just. Fuck. Like, I be wanting to go in and like, turn this shit off. Like, your sister trying to watch, her show. You come in here wilding, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? What else? Now you said as far as like dealing with it?
Yeah, because they're habits. They're habits that's growing within them. So, and you're in a position where you have to like pretty much say, this is this person's personality.
Yes,
I have to deal with this,
and that's what it is. It's like my wife's second daughter, like she's just a ball of like energy when she comes in the house, and it can be like rude, and you just want to just like take sometimes take a slipper and be like, the fuck is you doing? Like you see the house is calm and quiet. Like, why are you wilding for? But I just be like, that's what it is. Eventually, what I'm saying, she'll move out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole thing I'm like, she'll move out and she'll move on her, her own. She could party, do all that stuff. But then again, guess what? Her mother does kind of like, it's similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll come in and it's like, babe, guess what? I'm like, oh man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she cleaning, music on, singing, they both are like that. Where it is the other daughter is just like, oh, I'm chilling. I go do things I like to do. I mean, I'm laid back. I'm not a ball of energy when I come through the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Now, of course, it's my our 4-year-old. The only thing I can say that annoys me right now is that she gets up in the middle of the night, comes in our bed, and I just gotta take her back to her bed, and it breaks my whole sleeping pattern. You know what I'm saying? That shit. Like I would say I get an average of 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day.
I'm with you. Yeah.
That is it.
First of all, that's a lot, but I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, but Steve is coming from. What are you talking about? You're coming from you don't want to sleep. You personally do not want to sleep. Our sleep is getting interrupted by a small human being getting upset about waking up at in a dark room. I want to get in the bed. Yo, do you know that both of my children, and we have this rule, my wife and I. She jokes and says, once they turn after 6 months, like, it's on you. Stay your stage presence is needed. Yo, my 6-year-old and my 2-year-old, when they wake up at night, consistently is gonna be, Daddy. I kid you not. Ball up like, cause I sleep like, let's say like I go to sleep like around 12:30, 1 a.m. right, religiously, yeah. And then at 3 a.m. I got the 2-year-old, Daddy. I have to pick him up, and now at this point I just pick him up, put him down. He runs over to our room, goes into the bed, and then your man just lays down and does his thing, and then he's all up on my back, it's just weird, man. We lose sleep as dads, man. We lose damn sleep.
To you. A child's number one job in life is to cock block. That is a thing that happens, and it's instinct. You know why? Because they're trying to block the competition, right? Because if they don't cock block, they may have another brother or sister in a couple of months.
It's not,
that's what he thinks?
Yeah, it's just legit. This kid would wake up at night and he'll just be like, well, it's dark here and I want my father, and he'll call for me. Yep. And you know what? He wouldn't even wake up in a bad mood. Sometimes he's not even crying. He'll just say, Daddy. And I have a gate, in his room, so I'll just pick him up. And like I said, we'll just walk over to the bed and he'll just knock out.
My room is here. My little daughter, her room is right there. She gets, like, it never fails. Like, she'll get up, we hear that door clicking open, and like she be in a fog, and she'll be trying to get in the bed, and we feel her getting in the bed, trying to crawl in. And my wife probably, sometimes she wakes up with a toot, talking about some, Kenny, go back to bed,
Yeah.
And then she be like, whining and all of that stuff that she want to get picked up. Mm-hmm. We put it back in the bed. Then she gets back out, and we like,
oh, you got to put the gate.
Then we just tell you, what I'm saying? You got to get back in the bed.
Yeah.
No, I got to go to the bathroom, Daddy. All right, take her to the bathroom. Now she's in the bathroom. I get back in the bed. All I hear is, Daddy, I'm finished. You know what I'm saying? Now she wants me to come wipe her. And then I get annoyed because I'm like, it goes into a whole big, thing, and then
I gotta work.
I look at
what
the
y'all
time.
think is going on here?
Yeah, it's like 2:45 in the morning. So I'm looking at the time. I'm like, damn, I gotta get up in an hour.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? Because I go to the gym like before I go to work. So I'm like, fuck, man. So that's why I said 4 to 5 hours tops, and that's only between the hours of sometimes, because sometimes you catch me, I'm up between the hours of 9. And because my wife work at night, so when she gets in the house, it's like about 12:30. Right. So between those hours is when I really get a little bit sleep. After that, forget about it. I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm washed. You know what I'm saying?
So see, you two are better gentlemen than me. My son was a baby like that, and he would cry at night. I'd be like, yo, you just gotta let him cry. He's never gonna learn. The world is hard. You can't just pick him up every time he's crying.
And it's not
Trust
until
me,
you see them.
You go to sleep. You doing it for him.
Yo, let me tell you, man. That sounds like a cool story.
Word.
You know,
it's like a cool story.
And I've tried it, and I've done it with my older son once he got like, I guess around 3 or 3.5. Once I found out about the second one coming, I was like, yo, bro, you gotta hold it down, buddy. You gotta man up, all right? You gotta stop this, and you gotta start sleeping in your bed. So then, you know, I started that with him. But this 2-year-old man, yo, this dude, yo, he don't give a damn. Yo, you ain't coming for me? Screaming. Now I have him in somewhat of a little bit control, and it's not like he's a bad toddler. He's actually pretty cool. But when he wants to be in our bed and it's dark, and he's just like, nah, man, yo, pick me up now.
No, but
I want to go sleeping in your bed, fool.
But this is what I'm saying. They're doing that as a tool. They learn how to manipulate the world around them.
Oh yeah, he controls me. All of them do.
Not that like you should compare children to cats, right? But I have a cat, right? And if she's in my room...
You have a cat here?
I have a cat, yeah.
Damn, I wouldn't even notice.
So, but if she's in my room, my cat, and she wants to get out of the room, you know what she'll start doing?
What?
She has a scratching post, but she'll start scratching the leather on my bed, right? And she knows she's not supposed to do it, but she knows that every time she does that, I kick her out the room because that means she wants to get out the room, right? So it's the same thing. The kid doesn't really need to cry, right? Sometimes it's legitimate, but a lot of the times they know, well, I just got to cry louder. I'm just going to annoy them enough into getting what I want.
Nah,
yo, let me tell you about the person that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the YMCA. I have a YMCA down the block. Thank you, God. So I have a YMCA down the block. I take the 6-year-old to play ball, whatever, and I sometimes when I can, I go work out. Now the YMCA is dope because they have the nursery. Well, they have the toddler room, and it's pretty legit. You know, they have toys, books. They got a movie playing usually. There's like a big castle thing. So I bring this 2-year-old into the YMCA. He complains about going into certain daycares. He just doesn't like it. Whatever. So I did that whole thing like, nah, this is what's happening, dog. You're staying here. I'm going to go sweat, work out, and that's it. It's done. Mind you, the other one, the 6-year-old, he's going into another room, but he wanted to play ball in between. So I said, all right, you can play ball for 20 minutes, and then I'll put you into that room. I'll work out. I left that 2-year-old. The dude walked in. He was pissed. He stood at this table, hands folded, breathing all hard and heavy. I walked, right? I walked away. I was like, I'm not going to look at him. I'm not going to feel bad. I was gone for an hour and 20 minutes. I came back. Do you know that this dude was still in the same position, looking directly straight? And they said, they said that he did not move a muscle. Did not talk to anybody. He had my wife's uncle has a child, so there was another child in there that knew him.
Yeah.
And he did not move a muscle. He didn't want to talk to anybody.
That's dedication.
Yo, your man is a beast. See, I'm working with a different animal, man. I'm working with a different animal.
You didn't like it? When I say something, sit there for another hour.
Man works. And when it comes to like me going to work and I have to drop him off, it is what it is, my man. You could cry all you want, but that YMCA dog, your man, he's just like, he'll sit there like, yo, I'm not dealing with these people. You want to leave me? All right, cool. And he'll just sit there.
Okay, Scarface.
Tight. Yeah, tight. And since then, I was like, yo, I'm not bringing you over here. You're going to make me feel terrible every time I freaking bring you.
Got you.
Yeah, they got me, man. Fatherhood is tough.
I remember one time, I'm going to give you one story.
Okay.
My son, when he was a very little man, we went to the movies one time. I don't know if I told this story on episode 1, but that's fine, because that's not getting released. But we was at the movie theater one time, and Daddy was taking him to the movie theater, and he's like less than 5 at this point. And he's walking in. He's like, I want candy. I'm like, nah, you can't have that candy. It's like 8 o'clock at night. And then he thought he was going to try me, right? So he started like making his face up like he was about to cry. Got down on one knee, like I was shaking his hand, and gave him the most firm grip he ever felt in his life. And I said, listen to me. I'm not your mother. Don't you ever be out in public and scream like that. Right. But you know, that was over 10 years ago. You know, we live in a different world now, and you know, sometimes I appreciate the age that I am because I got to grow up in a time where you know you could say things and you could do things that you can't necessarily do anymore.
I just do the flick, right? Random.
But see, you know why?
Like, what's going on?
We was right in public, so
no, the public
everybody flick. Everybody looking is like, oh, I'm just shaking his hand. But he knew what was what. Never did it again. Sat through the movie. Didn't make no noise. I was like, you got to go to the bathroom? He was like, no. I was like, good.
Damn, did you give him popcorn at least?
Nope.
Damn, why did you take him to the movies?
You a savage,
man. For all that, my man, give me the bootleg, dog.
We ate before the movie.
Oh, that's good
enough. You can't be coming in here like you want candy now.
Man, I love the movies. I don't care. Amazon Fire Stick. I don't get into that zone. Once I go into a movie theater, I need my popcorn. I need my slushy. You know,
right? You go with the slushy game, huh?
Yeah,
I can't mess with that thing.
Nah,
it's popcorn and water.
Slushies are amazing, but I stopped those years ago.
Yeah,
only water.
Water, because especially when you go in that damn movie theater, it's like paying arm and a leg.
Also,
$60.
Also, I always get the water after the movie because I hate paying for a movie and then having to get up and take a piss halfway through the movie or right when it's about to end, because you know as you get older you can't you know what I'm saying, like I can't leave.
Or get weak,
right?
That's what happens.
Just pee in the cup and just leave it to the side.
Wow. Okay.
Nah, I'm joking.
But yeah, man, what's the other one we had?
I think for the most part we just touched on a lot. The only thing that just threw us off is obviously talk about sex.
But we still got one more. We still got one more, and it's like, what are some of the things you enjoy doing with your children?
Yeah, because we just talked about how much fatherhood could be stressful to one, and obviously it is rewarding at the end of the day. So I'll set it off. Obviously I have two boys, and the 6-year-old, he's turning 6 on Tuesday, so I'm just gonna call him the 6-year-old. And one of the things that I admire about him is how inquisitive he is, and how he's becoming his own man. He's maturing. We were having a conversation, and my wife and we were like, all right, so what should we make to eat? Sometimes we make 2 separate meals, something for us because we don't want to eat like any meat or something. We want to keep it light, and then something ill for the kids. So I made some drumstick chicken with a little bit of corn and all this other stuff for them, and then for us she was gonna make this little chili pot. So the dude says, he's like, you know what, I don't like the way meat makes me feel. It makes me slow when I'm running, and I think I want to cut meat out of my diet. We're looking at each other like, what the heck?
Oh, you got them thoughts.
No, yeah, seriously. Now he'll sit down right here and he'll just start talking, speaking clear.
He's intellectual.
He's a very, very intellectual young man, and I love that about him. And I love also how I play ball with him, and it's becoming something that he's enjoying and something that we enjoy doing together. And I have him playing older kids. And what he does, he doesn't like to shy away from competition. So especially if he hears chatter from the older kids, he's like, all right, now let's go. So he's at that age where obviously he ain't rocking with him. So when he loses, he gets upset. But what I admire is that he's so competitive, and he'll keep that memory in back of his head and be like, yo. And when we go work out, he's like, yeah. So when I play this person, I'm gonna win this time, and it's just a determination from him. And then my 2-year-old, let me share a story. The kid, I don't think he smiled until it was like 8 to 10 months, and my wife and I would be like, yo, this dude is serious. I don't know how he's gonna float in this family. And slowly but surely he started smiling, and then he didn't want to be around people, and we went through that whole stage, and then all of a sudden this little boy blossomed into this loving, ball of just happiness and energy, and
unless he's at that daycare he don't like.
Unless it's at the daycare, but once we leave him at that daycare, except the YMCA, he is actually he's like a party animal. Everyone loves him. Oh, hey, how's it going? And he's just a ball of energy, and I love that about him and how
you gotta
how
see
ill he is.
You gotta see his Instagram stories. They way better than mine. I'm gonna be honest with you because like I said, I'm the I don't know. I think I'm terrible dad. Like in the restaurants and stuff where they have like the grades and all of that stuff. Yeah. You probably need to put like a B in my window.
Damn. Nah. Speak on your children.
Like for me, I don't know. I guess maybe because I have girls, it's like I don't do like too much with my children. The only thing I really do is like when I'm making music, and as you see sometimes, Kenny will come over and she'll start messing around on the MPC. We'll do like little videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But my shit's lackluster, man. That's why I'm here trying to learn from school. Like, because in New York,
learning from each other.
In New York, like these curriculum activities, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, you gotta find. The thing about like New York is expensive, but there's ways when you live here long enough to just find some interesting free stuff to do.
You can, and I just for me, from doing everything, and sometimes you just be tired. I'm using that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
what makes you what's something that you caught yourself and you got the little teardrop, the baby teardrop?
Oh, it's just the affection that my daughter gives me, like when I come in the house or like when I pick her up from school or when we just chilling. Mm-hmm. Like she gets the affection because the affection I give to her mother. And she sees, it's love in the house, and
that's so important.
Yeah, it's love.
To see a healthy relationship.
It's love. So she always, like, Daddy, I missed you. Give me a kiss on the cheek, and then we have this little thing where it's funny now, but we've been doing it for months where she'll start going belly welly wash your mouth, like. She picked it up from
That's
me.
Dope.
She picked it up from me because I'm always saying something crazy and I'm like messing with her. Mm-hmm. So one day I had my shirt off and she said, Mommy, look at Daddy belly. Belly welly wash your mouth. And she does this face when she does it. It's hilarious. But
that's dope.
Like, I guess because I see him like he got his boys, they being they out there they're playing the sports and all that stuff. It's like for me, like I watch my daughter, like she pick up like these little from YouTube, like she be in the house I'm practicing ballet and all of this stuff, and I just be like, damn, we gotta find one of these things out here. And when I do find it, I'm like, yo, this shit is a grip. It's like,
you could teach it at the house. You just start watching it on YouTube. Like, all right, this is how it goes down. Okay, here's your tutu.
No, but she be here's the funny thing. She be telling me that she wants it. She be like, Daddy, you gonna buy me a tutu? And she really be doing it because somebody said, like, they asked, do she go to like a little school? I said, no, she be right in here learning on YouTube. I'm talking about doing the little spins, all of this with the hand motion and all of that.
Yeah.
Like I had to tell her to chill because we on wooden floor. I don't want to. You're not gonna break your foot on my watch. Like wait till I'm at work and I get the call for your mom's like we're going to the hospital. Kenny was trying to practice ballet and she broke her foot. Oh, thank God, I wasn't there for that. I hate for that to happen on my watch. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that on my watch. But
you got to get her the shoes then. You got to get special shoes.
But like when we doing our little music thing together, you know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm trying to get her, because with the how it is with the toddlers, they're not focused. They're not all the way focused yet. So I see a little bit more focus coming into her every day because she's coming over to the keys and she's like, Daddy, what's this key? And I tell her, and she remembers, Daddy, what's this? Let me go on a beat. She said, I want to do a beat. I want to watch my video. So to make a long story short, I guess the things I like doing with her is even though they're very simple, but it's just like doing a little music stuff, watching her and her personality, watching her, how she interacts with me, and our little jokes and stuff that we say together. That now we have everybody in the house, mimicking. You know what I'm saying? Yo, she'd be like, Belly Welly, wash your mouth. She'd be like, Kenny Whopper, you don't stop. Yeah. She did it when I was on Godspeed. When I was leaving out the door, she's like, bye, Daddy, Kenny Whopper, you don't stop. Yeah. So those are like little things. Like I like her personality. Like she's definitely has a personality that if I guess once things start to get a little bit better with time between me and her mom's work schedule, like we could probably get her into something like some performing arts school. You know what I'm saying? So she could really let that, creativity, that mind she has flourish. Because I see it. She be with the toys. She'll be going crazy in here with these toys. She'll have them all talking to each other. She'll create a whole damn scenario.
By the way, my brother would hate that. Like you saw all his collection.
Yeah.
They're not toys to him.
Yeah, he'll be sweating bullets. He'll be like, "What is going on here?"
Right. Did he just say toys?
Yo,
fire his ass.
Yo, it's so random. But remember Samuel Jackson in Unbreakable?
Yeah.
Where he was like, yeah, my son would like this. And Samuel Jackson was like, how old is your son? 5 years old. He said, I'm sorry, sir, you're at the wrong store. He said, these aren't comics for some plaything. Yeah. Damn. So,
yeah, but
I digress.
And you know they're making a sequel to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That movie that called, I don't know if it was called Switch, but they at the end of it, right? Bruce Willis was there, and you found out like, oh shit, this was in the same world as Unbreakable, and now Mr. Glass is back and he's free, and basically it's like this whole connected universe that
holy
that
shit,
we didn't even know. They're filming it right now. Samuel Jackson's back, Bruce Willis, all of that.
Damn. Okay.
I'll say something that I enjoy. Probably my favorite thing to do with Junior is watch horror movies.
Oh,
hey,
you're a horror buff?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
is he.
Oh, this guy is.
Yeah,
I'm always trying to find like what's the newest joint.
Yo, I'm like searching. I be searching.
The Ritual is out right now. It's not that bad. It just dropped on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
I
saw it in passing.
In the end, but the rest of it is clean. But the other thing, and I don't know if this counts, but I think I get the most joy now that he's older when we do things like open a bank account. Like I take him to open a bank account.
Nice.
I teach him how to drive. I got him his first job. We getting ready to, once his bank account hits a certain amount, we gonna open the Charles Schwab or the Fidelity account and get his investment stuff. Like that type of stuff.
Secure the bag alert.
Right,
yeah.
Secure the bag alert. That's
but honestly, that's where a lot of the joy comes from. Because now that he's 16 now, he doesn't have the same kind of joy as like we watching these horror movies like we used to.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, okay, well, I gotta prepare this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Let's okay, he wants to play basketball. Let's get him in AAU. Let's get him all the tools that he needs. Let's go to the games. Things that's like building him up.
He's gonna appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
No, he's 100%.
Yo, I'm jealous, man.
I'm coming to him.
I need a boy.
Nah, you can do AAU with girls, man. That shit is huge.
Nah, man, forget about that, man.
But he's gonna appreciate that.
I'm coming to him later in life.
I'm trying to get my daughter to do Muay Thai.
Yeah. But Muay Thai is dope.
I'm trying to get my daughter Muay Thai, man. I'm starting off at 5, yo. I'm like, listen.
It's a great age.
When you gonna learn this self-defense. So when you get in junior high school and all y'all girls start wearing them buns and shit like that on top of your head, and they try to get fly with you, you just be like, yo, listen, man, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. What, bitch? Hey, boosh.
Yeah.
But you're on the floor.
When you see Black Panther, you gotta get her in that Dora Milaje. That's the guards.
The girl, the woman guards. Yeah. Excuse me. Yep.
Nah, the way they was moving, but you know what else is clean? Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I'm gonna put my 6-year-old in this summer jiu-jitsu because
my boy BJJ Doom is He's in Brazil. The one I was telling you about, that one to come up here.
Yeah, my father. He's an avid jiu-jitsu fan, and he practices that, and he sees my son, and he was like, yo, this would be perfect for him because it's almost like a chess match.
Man, I used to practice capoeira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, I used to
be semi-groovy with it.
Did you have dreads?
Nah, well, actually, I did have dreads, but that was when I was doing.
Actually, I did.
Yeah, I did have dreads, but
absolutely correct.
But I mean, I wasn't at that time.
You was like DJ from Street Fighter.
Yeah, at that time they wasn't there, but I was. If I would have stayed with it, I'd been nice now.
I used to enjoy weapons and just like word. All right, I'll be right back, sir.
That's not scary at all.
Boom! Yeah. No, yeah, sorry, but yeah, not about violence, but let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Everyone, thank you for listening to this podcast. And does anybody have any parting words? We should have actually, now that I say that, we should have a moment that would be like Steve's parting words, because last episode was like, yo, you had me sitting there like in my shower, like,
words,
like, damn, yo, this dude just this dude just cut into my soul.
Yes, you got to give us Steve's parting words.
So
man.
that is good. That's gonna be our thing. Steve's parting words. This is a new podcast, so don't you ever come at us saying that this was a structured fool.
Yeah.
So boom. Man. Steve's parting words. Go ahead.
Again, no pressure. All right. So, imagery is very important, right? Do not think that you can raise children by telling them to just watch what you do instead, because what they're really watching is what you see. So, if you want your children to have healthy relationships, make sure your relationships in front of them are healthy. Teach them to love themselves first, and you will not have to worry about the riffraff that comes along telling them. Because when, sometimes as men, we can find it hard to communicate, right? But if we don't hug our children enough, we don't tell them we love them enough, we don't spend enough time with them, children need that, and they will go out and look for it elsewhere.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Always remember that. If you want your kids making good decisions, let them know that the people in their house love them. It's not because you got food in the fridge and you got clothes on the back that they know you love them. Tell them, hold them. You only have them for a little bit of time.
Absolutely.
And you won't have to worry about the riffraffs coming back to get you.
Ooh, Steve's parting words, killing y'all.
Steve's parting words,
and
baby.
I was freestyling.
Right. on Godspeed. That's the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood. We out skis.
Hugs, not drugs. Oh, yeah. And it's no more hugs, not drugs. Right now, it's Wakanda forever.
Hey. Boom.
I ain't see the movie yet, but I'm just throwing up the X just because.
I'm throwing up the X for DMX.
Right.
So that's a father that we need on this show.
Oh, man. If we can get DMX on the show, that would be groovy.
But fuck it. Yo, we'll holla at y'all later.
All right, man. Peace.